Hey guys, it's Jason X for SCNS Live, powered by Cinelinks.com, and this is another big time review. Now, there comes a time in every toy reviewer's life that he has his grail, and mine, I never got it, but I was able to get a remake of it, and here is my grail, Masterpiece Star Saber. This is the Transformer I wanted as a kid. When I was in Japan, I never was able to get this guy, and as a collector, there's been a couple times I could have gotten him, and he just kind of kept slipping through my hands. But now, this is it. This is the toy that as a kid I really wanted. And the Masterpiece version of this does not disappoint at all. I'm so happy to get this. Sorry that the Tuesday toy review was late, but this is why. Because this is what I was waiting for. It's just so gorgeous and great. I love this thing. But let's go ahead and do this in the proper order. Let's take a look at the box that he comes in, and it is a huge box again. Much like Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. I'm kind of wanting them to go back to some smaller sizes now. Enough of these big, expensive Transformers. Now, let's not stunt. This guy is 169 bucks, and I think actually I paid 159 for it at TF Source. But yeah, great box art there of the figure holding this big saber. You got the combined mode there. You actually have him up top holding the smaller saber handle, which we'll get into. We'll get to all that. We'll get to all that. Your standard Masterpiece printing on the sides, stuff on the bottom. Who cares? Can't read it. And awesome stuff on the back. And another life-size rendition of the figure there in its various modes. It's jet, combined mode, some of the accessories. But yeah, enough of that. Let's get to the combined Star Saber. And this is Saber, the jet up front connected to his V-Star. And this thing is just that awesome. Now, taking a closer look at the figure, you do have the Star Saber jet up here connected to the V-Star platform. And I love this thing. It's just like a huge, just battle platform space ship thing. It's just so good. I love the die-cast engines on the back here. Like all these thrusters, they are of a nice die-cast metal. And they put a lot of that in the feet, which helps this guy with his balance and everything. Just great detail. Not a lot to it. On the bottom here, let's go ahead and take him off of the stand because I'll show that off. And basically the stand just clips into the bottom crotch piece here. You just gotta want to seat it like this and bring it up in there. And there you go. Lovely design on this. It's so true to the original figure. Like I said, I wish I had one to compare it to because I've seen tons of reviews on the original Star Saber, and this nails it. This nails it. Now what I'm doing here is I'm pulling out the landing gear. It does have actual rolling wheels here. Little tiny rolling wheels. On the back here, these are where the feet are, but there's a cover plate right here. You just want to bring that down, and you can actually see more of the wheels here. So yeah, and they do roll. I've noticed that these tend to like not stay down as much when you're trying to put them down on the table, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. Also, he has little missile pods here underneath these guns. You just bring those up. Now you have to bring them up and out. Go from the bottom here and just kind of pull it up. And I just dropped the Saber jet out of there. So there you got the missile pods right in there. Now it's probably because I hit the button. Now what holds this thing in, there's a button on top of the V-Star that actually will release the jet. What you want to do is have the Saber jet like that. And you just want to kind of fit it in there into that little post right here. So you're going to fit that in there, making sure that these gray panels are down. Just want to bring it in, and you can kind of see how it's going to lock in here. If you look on the bottom and you just get that locked in there and push up. And I didn't bring the wing up because the wings are supposed to be up. So just get it on there. And that should be in. Nope. Just got to kind of clip it in a little bit harder there. And once it looks flush there, it should hold in fairly steady. I just didn't, I'll admit on camera, I did not have that all the way in. That's why that fell out. Now, however, we are going to release that and go ahead and take a look at the Saber jet Now, size comparison wise, here he is with our Masterpiece Sideswipe here. Just to give you guys an idea of what the size differential is. And I think this does work for it. And we'll compare it in robot mode to a couple other figures in just a second. So let's go ahead and start breaking it down from its components here. Like I said, you want to take this button here, press it, and release the V-Star. Or, sorry, the Saber Jet. And we'll just put the V-Star off to the side there. Unfold these wings, fold these up. And there you have the Saber Jet. And this is a very cool accessory. I love the look of this jet. Just so good. I mean, it's even this alone is a great figure. He's also got landing gear on the bottom. Rolling landing gear. Bring that down, bring that down. And so yeah, and comparison-wise, here he is with Sideswipe. And this guy isn't done being cool. Inside here, the cockpit, and this is so awesome. Here is the Brain of Courage. Yeah, this is where it also, oh, I'm sorry, this thing is really small. Let's go ahead and zoom in. So here I have a closer look at the Brain of Courage. As you can see, it is a very, very tiny figure. However, look at the detail on this guy. They actually got paint. I'm trying to get this thing to zoom in just because it's that small. But it's just that tiny and so much paint detail. Come on, camera, zoom in a little bit. Zoom in for me here. Let me put my hand up there, that'll help. So there you go. Yeah, you can see he's got a little bit of paint on the face. And this guy is actually tiny. Now, comparison-wise, here he is with Daniel from the Ultra Magnus figure. And you can see the just way off sizes. I mean, he's child size. This is a child figure, and this guy, it's almost mini-conish. So yeah, this is your Brain Master here, and he's just that cool. He looks like a miniature version of Star Saber when he's totally combined. So good job on the paint details on this guy. Just fantastic. Now moving back to the Saber Jet. Now I love this thing because it reminds me kind of the Swordfish in Cowboy Bebop. But yeah, I've always wanted this guy. But as you can see, we got the Brain of Courage inside, and the cockpit actually has a lot of detail inside as well. Just fantastic job on this guy. I'm going to say fantastic about 20 times in this review just because it's that good. But we got to move on to a transformation. So I want to go ahead and kick up the landing gear here. You want to take the bottom half. Well, first take the wings and fold them back. Get them flat there. Bring this down. And that'll automatically bring up the knees. And you got this 2-joint system here, one at the hips and one at the knees. So he's got some good leg posability. He doesn't stand very well though, which we'll get into that. So take the arms and just bring them up and out. Take the wings, fold them back behind here. But before you do that, actually, take the cockpit and just bring it, well, here, let's try to do this then. Just take this whole front nose cone off, and it just hits on these 2 clips right here. You want to take the cockpit and just slide it down, make it a little more flush with the back so you can't really see it behind his head. Take these arms and fold them down. They're on a double hinge system here. There you go. Unfold the hands, which are articulated. Very nice. And the feet, you just want to get a fingernail in there where the landing gear was and just bring it down. Now, these feet don't lock, and they're very loose. And also, he's got these little notches on the feet. Like I say, he has these little notches here, and it actually makes him a little uneven to stand. So we're going to do our best here. But I do notice that the Saber has a few problems with the standing. Of course, not now that I got him on the table. Last but not least, you want to take the front cockpit here, fold this part up, and it can clip in via these 2 clips here on either shoulder. And there you have Saber in his robot mode. Now, of course, looking at this, you're like, hey, where's the face? There's no head. Well, that was the gimmick with this because that's where our Brain of Courage comes in. So what you want to do is take this piece here and open it up, and you'll see there's a little elevator inside of there. that's going to push up. Now, right now, nothing happens when you push it up, but once you put the Brain of Courage in, which has a little hole in its back, corresponding to there's a peg inside of here. You just want to line up his feet, push him in. You'll feel him kind of steady on that peg. And as you close the door, you'll see Saber's head pop up. All right, so take a look at Saber's head. That is very cool. He's got that visor that they look like sunglasses. I really like that. They actually look like old school sunglasses. Now, with the gimmick, I'm going to go ahead and say this. You can only turn his head about that. He does have head articulation, but you can only go that far left and right. You can't do a complete 180 or 360 just because of the gimmick. But great looking transformer, a nice clear Autobot symbol. Great detail. I love the colors in this guy, the silver abs, the yellow in the knees. I love how this pops out, and you still got that gold chrome, which is going to be more prevalent, and also fingerprint magnet once we go to his combined Star Saber mode. So yeah, really great looking figure. So here's where we start getting to some of the accessories of Star Saber here. Now the first one was this little thing here, which goes to the stand. Now the stand was actually the shield, which he used a couple times in the cartoon. What you want to do is take this off. It just slides out. There's a little slot system. And you want to take this handle piece, which has a nice Autobot logo on it, by the way, and just slide it into the shield. And there you are. Now he comes with several iterations of his Saber blade. We also want to take this off. This is our Saber laser, which we'll just go ahead and set that to the side. But inside of the V-Star, just like the old toy, you actually have where his Saber store. Now, you've got a shorter one for the Saber mode, just for the Saber Jet. And you have a larger one for the combined Star Saber mode. However, it's compatible with both of the hilts. Now, the other thing is, there's a smaller hilt stored on this peg that I just knocked off, which is going to be used primarily for the Saber mode, but can also be used with the combined mode as well. So as we close that back up, and like I said, that peg is just down there. It doesn't say in the instructions if you're supposed to put it there, but I find it's very convenient to put it there, so I do. So bringing back in Saber, we got the shield, which does have the traditional Masterpiece pegs, where it's got that little joint there. I'm not sure if I can get him to hold it, though. He does have articulated fingers, so let's see. Because you kind of just wedge it behind the thumb, and yeah, he can actually hold this huge shield, which looks pretty cool on him, actually. Really big. I kind of like that. And he also has the Saber laser, which there was a peg for putting it onto the V-Star. You just fold that down. And same thing, you just want to slide it into his hand and close the grip around it, and so you can actually hold the laser too. But the main thing, this is Star Saber, so here's his Saber blade. You can take the smaller one, put it in there, and just kind of push it down. It's very shiny, very fingerprint magnet thing. Love it. And I always like to put that in his right hand. Now, it's got a notch and groove on the handle, which those go between his thumb. You kind of angle it in, and voila, there you go. Now, he is compatible with the bigger blade, too, if you want to add some extra firepower or sword power to it. There you go. You got a bigger a bigger Saber blade. However, there is more, because this piece actually is what the Star Saber holds when he's got the Saber blade. So you want to take that and unfold this part. Make sure both sides are unfolded, and then you can flip out this handle here, bring it down, close these up around it to give you some stability there, and take our huge blade here, open up the nose cone. There's one side here that's got a fat tab, and the other side's got a real skinny tab. And you can see those correspond to the blade, so you just put that in there, close it up, and there you have a huge honking sword, which, let's see, can he hold this thing? I actually did not try this, so if this screws up on camera, well, you know, that's kind of what you would expect. Oh my God, I've got it turned around the wrong way, but he can hold this huge sword. It looks like Braveheart going into battle. Pretty cool. Now for a comparison shot, here he is with Masterpiece prowl. And they're about the same size. This is perfect for me. I love the scaling on these guys. Perfectly done. Now articulation, I'm just going to leave everything off while we go into that. He does have, well, not really anything in the ankles and feet because that's more for transformation. But he does have this 90-degree jointed knee, which is on a really soft ratchet going back, but going forward, it is on a hard ratchet. And the same thing with both knees. Got some hip articulation here. Hard ratchet going forward and a soft ratchet going backwards. He does have these little skirts that will go up. No waist articulation on this guy. However, we went over the articulation for the head, but he does have some very nice articulated arms because they can actually go up and out. You would think they can't, but they're on a little hinge right here. You've got a single jointed elbow, go 90 degrees. The wrists will turn inside this, but it does. And this arm guard will not get in the way. Well, this hand guard won't get in the way of it. So yeah, very nice articulation on this guy. And now that we've got everything kind of separated, we're going to go ahead and go into the combine mode. So the first thing we want to do is take those arms that we unfolded earlier, bring them back up, leave them out like that, leave the wings folded in, fold up the feet, and the legs have tabs in the sides. You just want to pin those back together. Bring this up, and we're going to bring this all the way up and kind of bring it down so that they're kind of flush right here. Bring up the legs to the chest so they're right about there. And then you can bring these arms down again. And leave the wings up, and you want to take these little thruster vents here and fold them down. They just go they only go in one direction. So you see these little gray panels. And so that's pretty much ready for our V-Star now. Let's get that off to the side. And let's bring back in our battle platform, the V-Star. Take these tail wings here, fold them down, and fold these up. This is a pretty easy transformation too. So take these legs and unpeg them from here. Bring them down. And what's so cool about this guy is as I bring this leg down from over here on this side, I'm trying to get that in. But when I bring this leg down, there's actually a panel inside here that comes down and fills in that gap very nicely. So do it on the other side here as well. Just kind of unpeg it from this front section here. Right there where the blue starts. Bring it down and there you go. Take the feet and fold them out. And he's getting large here. You want to take the arms and bring them down, like so. Fold these back up where the saber handles went. Open this up in anticipation of the saber jet being attached. And I'm seeming to having a, oh yeah. You want to also, because he's sitting too far out with his legs here, that's because I didn't rotate these at the hip. So there you got their knee joint right there, and then just turn it again at the knee. So, like I said, bring that around. And yeah, there you go. You want to make sure the black screws are on the inside of the legs. And there, now he actually stands better. So like I said, we're pretty much done. What we want to do is take our Saber Jet, and you've got that little same peg that you use for the V-Star mode. And just bring it in. Same thing, you want to angle it into the slot. I can't seem to get this in here though. That's what she said. Or he said. Alright, didn't have that down all the way. So there you go. Make sure these shoulder pieces are all the way down. So bringing that up in there. And it is kind of a pain to get him in here. Because you got to get him in and then push him back to get the connection piece to grab hold. So there we go. Felt the click of it. So once you bring it down and in, and there you go. Now he's in. Make sure these feet are up there. Close up your gray panels and bring the wings down. Coming around to the back, you got his helmet for his combined mode here, which we want to start bringing that up, and we can just get it out of the way for now. Take this back section here, and it's on a double hinge. Bring it up and into his back. Clips in nicely, and then take this panel and bring it up. And there's also another double hinge here, which is going to snap right into there. And we're almost done. Here comes the coolest part to me. So you want to take these antennae and bring them up. And they're kind of on a little friction system. Like once you get it up, you have to kind of just get it past a certain point. Bring the antenna down and then just kind of push this over the Saber head. So then you just go over, and as you do that, you'll see the faceplate comes down. And then you can go here to the back where that was clipped on and unclip this part here. And this is a fantastic figure. I love it so much. This is probably, and I just got through raving about Ultra Magnus, and this is probably one of the best. He does have some flaws, but man, just this profile, it's such an updated version of Star Saber. It looks regal. It looks just great. This is old school Japanese robot here, and I love it. Now, what's great about this guy is look at the detail. Like, these are separate plastic pieces. They are not paint. I love that. That's a lot of care that's been taken into this guy. But yeah, articulation-wise, we'll go ahead and look at it. He's got some ankle tilts here. It's not much, but it is there. The legs do have 90 degrees there. His hips will go out. And you can go forward. These skirts will come up. So you can go all the way forward. He's got waist articulation. And he's got an ab crunch. It's not much, but it's an ab crunch on a transformer. That right there. Just, oh, love it. The arms will do a 360, and they're on a ratchet joint here. However, they can actually pop out from the back, and you've got a hinge up front. So you can get some more dynamic sword poses. Or he can, you know, he's like, you know, what you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do? So, yeah. And of course, they will go out, and that's another helpful bit for that other shoulder joint to help him kind of get past there. It's just like antenna across the antennas. The arms, and here's one thing, the arms, they are very loose. This is a very soft ratchet here. But he does have it, and I love how you can open up that ratchet, open up this elbow, and there's like a little piece right here. But it's very soft, and it does kind of falter on the weight of some of the weapons. And even like this side, it kind of the weight of his forearm will pull it back down. And of course, this head will rotate the same as Saber did because it's still restricted by the gimmick. But like I said, this is such a great looking figure. I'm so glad this won the fans poll. We wanted this. I voted for it as well. So, accessory wise, he can also take the shield. And he does have, also, I didn't go over this in articulation, he does have an articulated pointer finger, and the bottom three are all jointed together. But you just take this and kind of close his hand around it, and you can put it into that slot in his hand. And just kind of close it up, and there you go, he's holding his shield. Very sturdy there. Also, he can take the saber laser as well. You just want to fit that in there. And none of this actually like pegs in like some of our other Masterpiece figures. You just kind of put it in there and just close up the fingers. And it holds it fairly steady. I'll give him that. It does. Now, for the saber itself, we've got a couple of options here. One, you can take, I showed you this in saber mode. You can take this and put it into his hand, and you've got the tabs on either side. And close it up, and there, he actually holds that one like you would normally hold a sword. But there's been, some people have said this is more proportionate. However, I don't want it to be proportionate. I want it to be huge and just out there. So what you can do is take the cockpit like I showed you with Saber, and you can put this into his hand. Same tab system. The only thing is, when you put it in there with the tab system, he holds it like that. And I know a lot of people don't like that because that's not how you hold a sword. It seems like something that they should have made it where he's holding a sword. I don't know why they did it like this, but you know, what are you going to do? I'm waiting for somebody third party to come out with something to change that. Now you can try to put it in there, but it's not going to be secure, and the handle's not long enough like this. However, you can take these panels, bring them back up, and fold up the smaller handle. And also it comes with this larger handle. What you want to do is take that and just slide it into there and close up this bottom piece. And now you've got a longer handle for the saber blade. However, it is a skinny handle, and the way they designed it, it's flat this way and wide this way. So if you put it into his hand, it doesn't really hold well. And when you want to close his hand, it just goes back to that natural position there, which it's something that they could have easily just turned this around, and it probably would have solved that problem. But you can, get some nice two-handed grip poses with this, because also, and I keep going back to the hands, they are articulated this way as well. So you can bring your hands in. So like I said, you can get the saber blade in there for two-handed poses, but man, it is still very loose, and I kind of wish they had just added another notch. Now, there's a notch in his hand that looks like it would correspond to that. Unfortunately, it's got a bottom to it, so you can't slide it in. It's impossible. I was trying to kind of off camera because I kind of noticed it, and I was like, does that work? But it doesn't. So you can get some two-handed poses. He holds it fairly well, but if you shake him, this will fall. So size-wise, let's go ahead and do a couple of comparisons here. Here he is with Masterpiece Prowl. You can see how they scaled there. Let's bring in another Autobot Commander. Here's Prime next to him, and he towers over Prime. Love it. Here we have Soundwave, which is about the same size as Prime. Now, the biggest one in this Masterpiece line has been Ultra Magnus, so we bring him in, and he's actually a little bit taller than Magnus. I mean, even head-wise, he's definitely taller than Magnus, and even if you want to count these stacks compared to his stacks, he is bigger than Magnus is. So overall, guys, I am very, very pleased with this figure. He's great. This is something, it's a childhood dream realized, not exactly. I do hope to get an original Star Saber one day, but this guy more than makes up for it. He's got some flaws, yes he does, but and for the price that we're paying, yes, we shouldn't have such flaws, but you know what? I'm okay with this. They're small flaws, things I can get over. This is just such a well-done Transformer, and this was the fans' pick, so you cannot argue with that. We got what we wanted. It may not be exactly what we wanted, but I mean, who does get that? I do hope that he does have some other pegs and points on here, which lead me to say they might be making a Victory Leo. So, I'd be so excited for that if they did. And it'd be the same size. We're getting some big Transformers. I can't wait to actually get a couple of smaller ones, maybe get back to that price point for a little bit, because this is getting expensive. However, it's worth it. This is a great Transformer. Get it if you can. Until next time, guys, I'm Jason X for SCNS Live, powered by Cinelinx.com, and I'll catch you later.